Hello fellow Old World inhabitants, and welcome to the first round of the Old World campaign of the gaming Lords Leuven. Before we continue with the battle report, just a quick introduction of the armies that are competing in this campaign. We got 1 Ogre Kingdom, 3 Dwarven Mountain Halls, 2 Empires, 2 Bretonias, 1 Orcs and Goblins, and 1 Royal Host Tomb Kings, and finally 1 Demons of Chaos. At the end of the battle report I will also tell about the results of the first round, so stick till the end to see the results. Alright, and now without further ado, let's get to the battle report. Alright, 2000 points, Demons of Chaos, Slaanesh team versus the Empire. So, the deployment from this side. These are 3 fleets of Slaanesh. I know, yeah, but they are 3 fleets of Slaanesh. 5 Seekers of Slaanesh, 6 Furies, 22 Daemons with the Herald, Soul Grinder, another 3 Fiends of Slaanesh, the Chariot, and a level 4 Keeper of Secrets with Lord of Illusion. On the side of the Empire,
we have 3 Demigryph Knights, with 2 Demigryph Knights with a Chapter Master on Demigryph, 3 Demigryph Knights here, a Great Cannon and a Mortar, 30 Veteran State Troops with Halberds, a Steam Tank, 4 Empire Outriders, 10 Empire Knights with a level 4 Wizard, Metal Standard Captain.
End of turn 1 of the Empire. The Daemonic Knights went forward, coming in range of the Fiends of Slaanesh and the Seekers. The cannon did some successful shooting and did 3 damage on the Soul Grinder. Unfortunately, the mortar did a misfire and blew itself to pieces. The halberdiers went a little bit over there. The steam tank went over there, did some shooting at the Keeper of Secrets, but she deflected it with her ward save. The knights tried charging the Keeper of Secrets, however they made a failed charge, putting themselves in a very disfavorable position. Finally, the pistoliers did some successful shooting on the Fiends of Slaanesh, dealing 2 wounds. Charges have been declared. The Keeper of Secrets and the Chariot are both going to charge the front of the Knights. The Fiends of Slaanesh are going to charge the Pistoliers. And finally the Daemonettes are going to charge the Demigryph Knights over there. The Knights are going to hold. Because of Mystic Mirage they are not allowed to countercharge. The Pistoliers are going to fire and flee. And finally the Demigryph Knights are going to hold. So first we're going to look at the Pistoliers shooting at the Fiends. Unfortunately for the Pistoliers they only managed to get 1 hit. And that 1 hit also didn't wound. We get into combat between the Fiends of Slaanesh and the Demigryph Knights. The Fiends of Slaanesh are going first with the Always Strike First poison attack. They managed to deal 1 wound in total. The Demigryph Knights have a 2+ armor save and they easily make this save. Then the claw attacks of the Fiends. They deal quite some hits and they also manage to deal 3 wounds. All of them being armor bane 1 and the 6 being armor bane 3. So in total they managed to deal 2 wounds on the Demigryph Knights. Then the Demigryph Knights, they're going to strike back. First the Knights. They have 3 attacks in total, but they do not deal any wounds. Then the Demigryphs, they are doing a bit better, also having 3 attacks and dealing 2 wounds in total. However, the Fiends make both of their war saves, rolling double 6s. Alright, the big combat between the Knights of the Empire, the Keeper of Secrets and the Seeker Chariot. The unit champion of the Knights has issued a challenge and since the Keeper is a character, she has to accept. The Keeper of Secrets is going to try to cast Spectral Doppelganger, but she rolls a 4 and doesn't make it. The Keeper of Secrets is going to use her normal attack 7 attacks and she deals 4 wounds in total. The unit champion tries to save himself, but he falls in front of the Keeper. Then the Keeper is going to use her stomp attack to get some more overkill points. She deals 2 wounds and the Knight saves 1 with a 6, so 1 more point in overkill. The Chariot with its D3+1 impact hits deals 2 impact hits in total and both are wounded. 1 Knight falls before the Chariot. Then the 2 Daemonettes on top of the Chariot are going to strike the unit. They manage to deal 2 wounds in total, 1 being AP 3. The Knights make the normal save but do not make the save for the AP -3. Then finally the 2 Steeds are going to strike the unit. They deal 1 wound in total but the Knights make the save. The end of turn 2 of the Demons of Chaos, a pretty decent turn. We moved up over here I lost combat over here, and lost one of the fiends, but wasn't too catastrophic. I missed the charge over here, that's unfortunate. Tried to do some shooting with the Soul Grinder, did no wounds. Did a charge on the Pistoliers, they ran off the table. And over here I won combat, but Sinda rolled pretty well on his break test and only gave ground. And now we're going to turn 2 of the Empire. We continue with the battle between the Fiends and the Demigryphs. The Fiends didn't manage to land any blows this round. The Knights are striking back and they deal 1 wound on the Fiends. The Fiend uses its 5+ ward save, but it doesn't make it. Then the Griffins themselves are striking the Fiends. They do pretty well, they deal 3 wounds in total and the Fiends don't manage to save any of them, so they kill 1 Fiend. In this turn, the Demigryphs Knights have charged the Demonettes, but the Herald is going first. She manages to deal 1 wound, which the Knight saves on a 3+. Because of the special banner of the Herald, she has lowered the weapon skill of the Demigryph Knights by 2. Then the Demonette unit themselves, they have a lot of hits and actually also quite some wounds, but Sinda rolls very well on his save, saving every last one of them. However, one was an armor bane of 3 and that one was not saved. Then the Griffs are going to strike back. They have a lower weapon skill because of the banner, so they only hit on 5s. However, they still manage to deal quite some wounds. The Demonettes save 1 with a 5+ ward save. Then the Knights themselves, they have 4 attacks, they only hit on 5s. They make 1 hit and also that one wounds, and the Demonettes don't save that one. The important combat between the Keeper of Secrets, the Knights and the Chariot. Once again, the Keeper of Secrets is going to try to cast Spectral Doppelganger, rolls a 5, which is 9 in total, and it's not enough. Keeper of Secret is going to divide her attacks, 4 attacks on the Wizard and 3 attacks on the unit. In total she deals 4 wounds on the Wizard, which one of them being a killing blow, which Sinda saves first. And from the 3 nominal attacks, the Wizard saves 2, which means he's still alive. Then the 3 attacks on the unit, which one of them being a killing blow, which cannot be saved by armor saves, which means the other one also dies because of a failed save, so 2 more Knights die. Then the Chariot is going to strike, while the Demonette on top of the Chariot. They have 4 attacks in total, but they don't deal any wounds. Then finally the Steeds are going to strike with their tongues, which one of them being a poison, the other one misses, but the Knights also make that one save. Then the 4 remaining Knights who are eligible to strike back are going to strike the Chariot. They have 4 attacks in total and they only deal 1 wound, which the Chariot actually doesn't save. Because of Beguile, the Wizard has to roll a leadership test before he can actually strike the Keeper of Secrets. He makes the leadership save, so everything is fine, and then he strikes on his normal 4-up. However, he doesn't manage to deal wounds to the Keeper of Secrets. 2 more Knights actually are still eligible to strike the Keeper of Secrets. They deal 2 hits, but they also land 1 wound, but the Keeper of Secrets saves it with a 5+ ward save. So we come at the end of the turn 2 of the Empire. They managed to kill the Fiends over there. We had a standoff over here, it's a draw between the Demigryphs and the Demonettes. The Steam Tank masterfully destroyed the Soul Grinder. And over here the Knights have lost combat. The Keeper tried to pursue, but she didn't make it. The Chariot, however, made it. And now we're going to turn 3 of Demons of Chaos. The Seekers of Slaanesh have charged the flank of the Demigryph Knights, so we're going straight into combat. The Herald manages to deal 3 wounds on the Demigryph Knights, which they all save with the 3+ armor save. Then the other Demonettes are going to strike the Demigryph unit. They deal 3 wounds in total, 2 of them being Armor Bane 3, which the Demigryph Knights have to save on a 5+, and the other one they save on a 3+. Of those 3 wounds they make 2 saves, so 1 wound goes through. Then the Seekers in the flank are also going first. They deal a considerable amount of wounds, also dealing 3 Armor Bane 3 wounds. Of those 5 wounds they have dealt on the unit, 4 of them are not saved by the Demigryph Knights. Then finally are the Steeds of Slaanesh. They have 5 attacks in total and they deal 2 wounds, but the Demigryph Knights save them both. Because of the special banner of the Herald, once again the weapon skill of the Demigryph Knights have been lowered considerably, so the Demigryph and the Knight are both hitting on 6s, and both of them do not manage to actually hit the unit of Demonettes. The Daemonic Knights have to make a break test because they lost combat. They roll a 9, which is above their normal leadership, which implies they're going to flee. The Daemonic Knights run away 7 inches. Since the state troops are close by, they also have to roll a break test. They fail it and they're going to fall back in good order, rolling a 9. Both the Seekers and the Demonettes are going to pursue. The Seekers first roll a 5 and then for their swift stride they roll another 5. And finally the Demonettes roll an 8 on the pursue move. The Fiends have lost the combat against the steam tank and now have to roll a break test and they get an 8. Back to the big combat, we're going first with the Chariot and its impact hits. 3 impacts hit in total and they all wound, and the Knights fail 1 save. Then it's the turn of the Keeper of Secrets. This time she's going to cast Spectral Doppelganger successfully, but she only gets 3 hits. All the automatic hits of the Keeper of Secrets have wounded the unit of Knights, and they don't make the save. She then tries to finish off the last remaining Knights with her normal attacks, but she misses both of them, and then uses her 5 attacks on the Wizard. She wounds the Wizard 3 times and the Wizard fails 1 save, which means that he has died. Then the Chariot is trying to finish off the last remaining Knights, both with the Demonettes and the Steeds. However, they only manage to deal 1 wound, them all combined, which the last remaining Knight saves. Then the last remaining Knight is going to strike back, however he misses his attack and the combat is over. However, the Knight still has to make a break test, which he actually fails because he has a -3, which means he has to fall back in good order. The Knight is running away 5 inches and only the Chariot is going to pursue, rolling a 6. And also a 6 on Swift Stride. The Keeper of Secrets is going to roll a leadership to try to reform, which she makes by rolling only a 6.
Alright, the end of turn 3 of the Demons of Chaos. We won combat against the remaining Daemonic Knight and he's running away, but he can try to reform. Next turn, I lost combat with the Fiends and they lost one of the Fiends. And unfortunately here we didn't manage to destroy the last Knight, so the Chariot pursued and the Keeper reformed. And now we're going to turn 3 of the Empire. So end of turn 4 of the Demons of Chaos. So what happened? I turned over here a little bit, so forcing a front charge in the next turn of the Empire. Have killed the veteran swordsman, the veteran halberdiers, I actually don't know the name. I overran and I'm actually standing over there with my Seekers. And here I cast Fly on myself, so now I'm 1 inch in the back of the steam tank. And that's it, so we're going to turn 4 of the Empire.
The Daemonic Knights have charged the Demonettes in the front, however the Herald has a special banner that lowers the weapon scale in initiative of the unit, lowering the weapon scale and initiative by 3. Then the Herald of Slaanesh is going first and inflicting 2 wounds on the unit. 1 wound has not been saved. Then the Demonettes are going to strike the hero with quite some hits, but only inflicting 1 wound, which also deals 1 wound because of the armor penetration of 1. And then the last Demonette can only strike the one Demigryph on the left, however she gets 2 hits and she also deals 2 wounds, with 1 being armor bane 3. And these 2 are saved by a 5, which the Knights don't get, and then by a 3, which the Knights also don't get, dealing 2 more wounds on the unit. Last turn actually the Demonettes overran and ran into another unit of Daemonic Knights. Even with lowering the weapon skill of the Demigryph hero, the Herald of Slaanesh and the other Demonettes did only a couple of wounds, which the Knight also all saved. The Demigryph is going to strike back. It has 3 attacks, which only 1 of them lands, but that one also wounds, which is not saved by the Demonette. Then the hero on top is going to strike. Having 2 attacks, he misses both of them by rolling double 1. At the end of this turn, most of the Empire units have either been routed or destroyed. In the last couple of turns, most of the game is being played as a combat between the Keeper of Secrets and the Steam Tank. After multiple casts of Spectral Doppelganger and a lot of the attacks, the Steam Tank has finally been defeated. However, still managing to deal quite some wounds on the Keeper of Secrets. So we've come at the end of round 1, and what are the results? There are 3 leading armies right now. Peter L with his Orcs and Goblins, Kevin Vidar with his Dwarven Mountain Holds, and me with the Demons of Chaos. Thank you for sticking till the end, and if you enjoyed this battle report, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time in the world of Legends. Until then.